Well, folks, Sandrone is finally playable and she is shaping up to be a very interesting character. So in this video, I'll be showing you how she works, giving you a beginner's guide, sharing some useful tips, and talking about her best team and overall value. Now let's get into it. So Sandrone is the new Cryo Stellar Conduct DPS, but what is Stellar Conduct you might be asking? Well, Stellar Conduct is the new Cryo and Electro reaction that comes with a few conditions. The first condition is that you need an enabler character, which is kind of similar to how Lunar Reaction works. Once the reaction is triggered, a stellar prism will appear on field, which then creates a Polestar field. Characters inside the Polestar field will receive cryo and electro damage bonus. Whenever an enemy is hit with cryo or electro damage, the field stores dissipating energy. So the way the Polestar field works is pretty simple. It counts the number of cryo and electro hits enemies take every 4 seconds. It then releases that stored energy as damage based on the number of hits that it has counted. Doing this also increases the field's damage bonus and its base stellar conduct coefficient for the next 4 seconds. And enemies inside the field also have their physical rest reduced just like superconduct. On top of that, certain characters gain the radiant stellar conduct effect. And as for the damage calculation, stellar conduct works very similar to lunar reaction, so it scales with elemental mastery. But instead of using elemental damage bonuses, it uses stellar conduct damage bonuses. And that's more or less everything you need to know about the reaction. Now let's talk about actually how to build Sandrone. So Sandrone has a pretty similar playstyle to that of Nivelette, so if you already have Nivelette and use him, you shouldn't really have much trouble learning how to play her. Her main source of damage comes from her charged attack, which fires a beam that hits 3 times. Once it runs out, simply use her elemental skill to refresh it so you can fire it again. If you use her elemental skill while enemies are nearby, she'll fire 2 additional shots that deal stellar conduct damage. As for elemental burst, she bombards her enemies with cryo cannons, and if they are inside a Polestar field, that damage is converted into stellar conduct damage. As for her talent priorities, you should level up her normal attack first, since that's where most of her damage comes from. After that, level up her elemental burst. Her skill comes last. You can level it up if you want a little extra damage, but it's the lowest priority. So let's talk about her passives. Her first passive simply enhances her damage if Fagio's charge is above 50% when you use her elemental skill. The second prism shot will deal more damage as the charge decreases. On top of that, for every 10 seconds of Fagio charge consumed, Sandrone gains 1 stack of Refined Tactic. When you use her burst, all those stacks will be consumed to deal additional damage. As for her second passive, Lady's Conduct, it converts her attack into Elemental Mastery. For every 100 attacks she has, she gains 8 Elemental Mastery, up to a maximum of 160. So ideally, you want to get her attack to around 2000 to fully maximize this passive. Finally, for her last combat passive, it converts Superconduct into Stellar Conduct whenever one of your teammates trigger the reaction. It also increases Stellar Conduct damage based on Sandrone's attack, making it very similar to the Lunar reaction with Moonsign. Alright, now that we have covered her kit, let's talk about her build. For artifacts, her best in slot set is going to be the Disenchantment in the Deep Shadow. Sandrone scales primarily with attack, and since Stellar Conduct also benefits from Elemental Mastery, you want to get both stats. So for her main stats, you generally want to get an attack sand, an attack goblet, and a crit circlet. But if you don't have any external source of Elemental Mastery that you can go with this instead. You can either use an attack sand or an EM goblet, or an EM Sand and an attack goblet. So Sandrone's best in slot weapon is obviously going to be her signature, its Teaspoon of Transcendence. Its passive gives up to a 48 stellar conduct bonus, making it her strongest option, but if you don't have it, don't worry, there are plenty of great options for Sandrone, like the Wolf's Gravestone, 1000 Blazing Suns, and the Red Horn are all excellent alternatives. In general, any claimer with an attack or crit substats will perform well. As for 4-star weapons, the Tidal Shadow is going to be your best craftable option. After that, you can either use the Mail Flower or the Melazine Sword. Now the part you'll be waiting for, Sandrone's teams. When it comes to Sandrone's teams, we are still in the early stages since she's the first Stellar Conduct character. We'll most likely get more characters that support this reaction in the update, so for now, Sandrone's best teammates are mainly characters that received the Radiance buff. These are mainly Cryo and Electro characters, since those are the 2 elements involved in Stellar Conduct reaction. Another thing to keep in mind is that Sandrone is an on-field DPS, so most of her teammates should be off-field damage dealers or support. For your Electro character, her current best teammate is Yae Miko, but if you don't have her, there are plenty of other options like Raiden Shogun, Nefa, Fischl, and Beidou. And as for your cryo support, you can use Escoffier, Chi-Chi, Shenhan, Nicole, and even Sitlali. For some team recommendations, her premium team is going to be Sandrone, Yae Miko, Chi-Chi, and Escoffier. A budget premium team is going to be Sandrone, Yae Miko, or Raiden, or Inefa, Chi-Chi, and either Nicole or Shenha. And for the 4-star only team, will be Sandrone, C6, Diona, Fischl, and Sucrose. These are some of her best teams for now, but we are expected to get even better options as more stellar content characters are released in future updates. So overall, Sandrone is shaping up to be a very interesting character and an incredible strong unit. She might even rival or possibly surpass Kirk as the strongest carrier DPS in the game. And personally, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a dedicated Stellar Conduct support in Naya. So let me know what you think about Sandrone, the new Stellar Conduct reaction, and what you are hoping to see in the future. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, it really helps the channel out a lot. And with that, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one.